Welcome to Flash Tutorial 9, Add Your Face to Animated Body Part 2. It's a follow-up to Tutorial 8, which was Add Your Face to Animated Body Part 1, and that's what I have opened on my computer. You're going to need to have a photo in your computer somewhere, and it would be nice if you had two, one with a side view of the person and one with a front view, but if you just have one, you'll still be able to do the video. We're going to start by opening the library and opening the Stickman, and I want to hide this temp, that's why I called it that, but I don't want to get rid of it in case I need it later on. So how we do that is we go down to the list here, layers, and double click on the temp layer, and this little menu opens up, and click guide. Okay, and now when we test it, if I go up here and test my movie, test, we don't see that anymore, and if I ever want it back, I just double click on it and go back to normal. Let's go back to scene 1, and I got Stickman selected, and let's take him and put him way back here for a minute, and click here, right click on that, and I want to create a motion tween, and when you do, it generates 24-25 frames for you. Get that double arrow and keep dragging it up to about 130, 140, something like that, because we want him to be walking relatively slow. I'm up to 140. There I go. And click here, right click, insert keyframe, and we want position. So now grab him and put him here, and when I do, you'll see this, I got a path. And now the path I'm going to make is a funny path. I'm going to have him come up real sharp and then drop back down. So now if we test this, control, test movie, test, he's walking up that. Now if you want, you can lock that layer, insert a layer, and I'd put it down below the Stickman and call it a hill, H-I-L-L, and if you want, you can unlock the Stickman layer, and you see this path, right click, you see that, I get that sort of like an arch, right click, copy that, close it off, go to hill. I'm going to hide it here, this one, right click, paste in place, click, unlock this frame, click here, paste in place, and there's that hill. Okay, and if I just grab it with my selection tool, I want to see the man now, and bring it down, 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 and roughly he can be walking up that hill, very rough. Test movie, test. You can play around with that if you want. I move it up a little bit, selecting it, using my arrow keys, moving it up. If this was like grass, maybe. Anyway, there he is, walking up that hill. Dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum. If you made it thicker, he would be walking behind this. If you put him down here and made this thicker, that's not him, that's the tween. So now he's sort of behind it. Test movie, test. See, now if this was grass here. Anyway, I'm not going to put that in there. I'm just showing you something. I'm going to cut that layer. Now, come up to File, Import. We're going to find those pictures. Import to the library. It takes a while to prepare an import. And now I'm on in my folders, and I want two pictures. I want this one. I'm going to click on it, hold my control down and click this one, and then double click, but I probably only got one. Yeah, I got the 8.4. I want the other one, control, or excuse me, file, import. I want 8.4 and 8.2. There, so I have two pictures. I have one side picture and one front picture. Come over here, make sure the layers are locked, select Stickman, insert a layer, call it HID, H-E-A-D, side, S-I-D-E, the side of the HID. Select that frame 1, open the library, and I want to take the sideways picture, so click on it and drag it onto the stage. And it's huge. So if I go up here to about 25, there it is there. I want just the HID of that. So now, if I have this tool up here, it's called the lasso, I can cut things with it. But when you got a picture, like a JPEG, as soon as you try to cut it, nothing happens. So what you got to do is take this picture and modify it. So take your selection tool, click on the picture, and up here it says modify, break apart. Now it turns all fuzzy. Now you can take this lasso tool, and you can't start inside of a picture. You got to start outside and bring it in. So, and I'm going to go really quick and really quick here, because I'm teaching you how to do the tutorial, not how to crop pictures. I'll do a little cropping, but not a lot. Okay. Now, I'm going to make this smaller if I can. I'm going to make it, I don't know if it let me make it any smaller than this. 10%, enter. There it is. Good. I can now pick up my selection tool, drag my choppings off to the side for now. See that? Double click on the rest of it and delete it. Delete it. Now, as I said, I'm not going to play a whole lot of time cropping this picture. Is there somewhere? 50%. Drag it over. I'll do a little more on that, but not much. Again, you got to start from the outside and come in. You just can't start in the middle of a picture. Okay. Now I want to click and select that. Delete it. And now, got my selection tool. Double click on it. Up here is something called the free transform tool. Click on that. And hold the shift in. And get on that corner till you see those two arrows and shrink it. That way it will shrink proportionally. Clicking it up. Two arrows. Shrink it proportionally. Here we go. And because we did what we did, it's staying symmetrical. Now, it's getting back to where we can use it. I'm picking up my selection tool. And you can play around with that all you want. It's got to be about the same size as HID. So, free transform tool. Make this a little bigger. I want it to about the same size as his HID. And there it is there. I'm going to make it a little bigger. Okay. Go lock those layers for a minute. Open the library. Select the Stickman. We're inside the Stickman movie clip. And I don't want to see his HID. So we're going to do the same thing. Instead of throwing the lock the HID layer, instead of throwing the HID layer away, double click on it, make it a guide. And then when we test it out, this HID won't be here. Back to scene 1. And let's go to 100%. And we can just take that HID, go up here, modify, pick up selection tool, make sure the HID layer is unlocked, select that first frame, highlight it, modify, convert it to a symbol, call it HID, H-E-A-D, side, S-I-D-E, underscore MC, copy that, copy, okay. While it's still highlighted, because it's got that blue around it, open the properties panel, it's HID side MC, and paste that in for an instance name. You got to have an instance name if you're going to write code on something. And if we just put it roughly here for now, just to get a peek at it. Lock all the layers, select this HID side layer, Add a new layer, call it Action Script, AS. Select frame 1, open the Actions panel. If you don't have the Actions panel docked here, go up to Window and click on Actions and it will open up. Now, type this code, type. And we call this HEAD, HEAD, side, SIDE, underscore MC. Copy that, paste it in. So you should have this. HID side underscore MC period X, X turns blue, equals 600, semicolon. And you could copy that and paste it. Say HID side underscore MC period Y, Y turns blue, equals 600, semicolon. That's so when this starts, this actually HID that is sitting here will be way off the stage. And we'll just put it off the stage anyway, but it's going to be necessary later on. So go back here, select that HID, and just click on it and drag it off to the side of the stage. Lock that HID again. Now we want to write the code that allows the HID to follow this body. So open the Actions, select the Actions layer, open the Actions panel, and put a couple enters here and type this code. Type. Stage, small s, TAGE, turns blue, period. Add event listener, small a, capital E, capital L, add event listener. Open bracket, event, capital E, VENT, that turns blue, is spelled right, period. This is all capitals. ENTER, underscore, frame, FRAME, enter frame, comma, and I'm calling this ent frame, capital ENT, capital FRAME, close bracket, semicolon, function, FUNCTION, it turns purple. Copy this ent frame, paste it in, that's the function name, open bracket, E, small e, colon, event, capital E, VENT, close bracket, colon, void. Void turns the same color as function. And I don't know if I said that this was a semicolon back here, semicolon. After void, an open curly bracket. And as soon as you start typing, usually this closed curly bracket comes in. And we're doing that HID side underscore MC period X. It's coordinate X. It's going to equal the stickman underscore MC period X, semicolon. Copy that, paste it in, turn the X here to a Y, and turn this X to a Y. And we're just going to do this to see where the HID ends up with relation to his body, and then we'll play around to get it where we want. So, Control, Test Movie Test, and the HID is following the X really good, but the Y is the problem. So, in Flash, the higher you go on this scale is a lesser Y. So here we got Y. I wonder how tall the stickman is for a minute. I'm going to go look at something. Going back here, I'm going to check the stickman. Stickman. Open the properties panel. Okay, I just want the stickman. I don't want that, just the stickman. This is hard sometimes to do, to get just a stickman. The stickman, he is about 100 high. So that means if indeed he's centered, so we should be about 50 off. So let's go back to that action code. And let's do here minus 50. Just try that for a second. And let's test that. Control, Test Movie Test. A little bit too high. So a little bit too high. So let's make it minus 45. Control, Test Movie Test. And I'm going to do one more, and if it's wrong, then I'll play around it by myself. I'm going to do it 40. This will put it right down on his shoulders. Test Movie Test. And there, I'm happy with that. So now we just have him walking up and down, and he's facing forward. Now I want him to have face the front at a certain point on the tween. So I'm going to pick some point on this tween. I'm going to pick some point. I'm going to unlock this, just select this stickman layer for a minute and see. I want to at the peak here, right up somewhere around here. Somewhere around here. I'm going to say on my stickman line, lock that, and on the head sideways, click there, insert a keyframe, and that brings my head up to here as far as its head is concerned. Now we know that the head's off the stage, so it's the code we got to change here. So click in here on the action script, insert a keyframe, and open the actions panel. Now we're in the actions layer for that new frame, and type this code. It's you could have went back here and copied this section here if you wanted to. You could do that, but I'm going to go through it with you real quick. It's stage period add event listener, open bracket event period enter underscore frame, comma end frame 2 close bracket semicolon. You could have copied and pasted, and all you would have changed is this to a 2, and then just say this is the same line as what you would copy and make this a 2. So it's function end frame 2 open bracket e colon event close bracket colon void. There's the open curly bracket, there's the closed curly bracket for the function, and we're saying head front underscore MC period X. Now we haven't made this one yet. This is a new one we got to make. This is a new face equals stickman underscore MC period X semicolon. Copy it and paste it in. Change the X to a Y. Change the X to a Y. And if we put it in the exact same spot, it's going to be minus 40. I suspect we'll have some problems here, but we'll see. And there's a closed curly bracket. And at the same time, the head side underscore MC period X equals 600 semicolon. That'll send that way off to the stage so we won't see it. Copy that, paste it in, and change the X to a Y. So now, let's go back to the timeline for a minute. Back to scene 1 for sure. Frame 1. And where we got this head side, select that, insert, and call it head front. HEAD-FRONT. Now, if you don't have two photos, you can do this. Open the library. Click on the head movie clip, the one we there. If I look at this, I'm inside that movie. If I double click on this again, highlight it, you see how it's all fuzzy? I can right click and copy that. And then once I copy it, I can then take it and pretend you copied it. Go to the library, open up a new one just like we're doing, and instead of cropping the head like we're going to do it, just take this, well, I'll do it for you. Put a new symbol. It's going to be head, HEAD, front, FRONT, shift underscore MC. All right, now we're inside of there, and what you would do is paste it in place, and then I'm going to make it a little bigger, and then you go up here, modify, and you see it says transform, and come down here, flip horizontally, and there you would have a different image to work with. Okay, but I'm using a second one, so I'm going to delete this one here and do the second one as I was going to in the beginning. So that head side's okay. So now I got to go to my library. Oh, I already did. And this one here is the front one. I want that one. So select frame 1, Open the library, drag this front guy on. And I'll do the same thing with this. Go way up here. If I make it as small as I can. All I want is the head. Funny old looking guy. But remember, we can't do anything with that. Modify, break apart. It's all fuzzy. Get the lasso tool. And you got to start outside. Lasso tool. Okay, something's going on. Select frame 1. Lasso tool. Oh, I got to get here. It's really temperamental, this lasso tool. Again, I am not going to be fancy with this. Alright, pick him off to the side, just so enough stays on the... Pick up my selection tool, click on all this, delete it, click on him, drag him back, and there were some extra pieces. I don't want no extra pieces, so highlight them and delete them. I want no extra pieces. This is all on scene 1, and it's huge, 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 so pick up that free transform tool, click on this, hold the shift in, grab that corner, and shrink it. Holding my shift down, pick up my selection tool, drag it up here, make it 100% each. Still too big. Selection tool, free transform tool, shift down. I think we're getting close to what we want now. Make it 200, and it looks pretty close to the same as that, maybe just slightly smaller. There. Using my selection tool, I'm putting him on top of there. Now, go back to 100%. There's my stick man with the guy facing me. I'm on this frame 1 of my head front. Pick up my selection tool, highlight the head, modify, convert to a symbol. Make sure movie clip is selected. Call it head, HEAD FRONT, head front underscore MC. Okay. And now I can open the properties panel and give it that instance name. HEAD FRONT shift underscore MC. Now, all we can do is, I think the code is written here. Oh, just going to get that off the stage though. So grab that head, take it off the stage, and let's see if we got any errors, or let's see what happens here. There he goes, the first head. Something happened there. We changed heads. I don't know why there was a break. Okay, so something happened when he changes his head. Oh, got to go here on this front head. Insert a keyframe. Now, I think it's just a matter of writing some codes. Test movie test. We can straighten that out. I'm not worried about that. Let's go back to frame 1 of the actions layer and click here. Put a couple enters. Go to the top, and you could copy this here line if you want, and paste it in here. Type. Paste it in here. I want stage, but instead of add, I want remove. REMOVE, small r. And removing the other one that's up further, so in here is a 2. All right. Copy this line here. Copy it. Go back to the timeline. Click here. Open the actions panel. And click on that end. A couple of enters. Move it up. And paste it in. And here I want remove, REMOVE, and removing the nth frame. Good. Let's test out and see if we got any glitches here. Facing the front, see something, turn sideways. Goes back to the front. See something sideways. And we got two little glitches. We got where the HID starts here and that one there. I found the problem. Actions frame 1. Open that up. And here it's this that is a problem for us. This is the front I don't want to see right now. FRONT here and FRONT. So let's try this out. Test movie test. Here he goes. He's looking to the front. Faces the side. Front. Back and look at the side. Back to the front. And I just don't know why we're getting this double glitch here. I'm on this frame here, which is frame 57 of the actions layer. And I'm going to select these two lines of code and cut them from here. Going to go back to the timeline. I'm selecting this next frame after that one. Right click, insert blank keyframe, open the actions panel and paste that code in. Control test movie tests, and I think that might get rid of that glitch right here. So when he turns, much better. Much better. See if it does that again. Very good. I hope you learned something from these two tutorials, and I hope you use what you learned.